and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe in Lagos.
Greetings to you wherever you are in the world joining us in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan.
Austin, let's start from London, where you are. What's currently happening? Pochettino has left Chelsea, and when I saw the story, the first thing that came to my mind, okay, Bayern are actually searching for a coach. There's a coach ready to actually join them because it seems you have more coaches not wanting to go to Bayern than the ones that want to go to the German Bundesliga. But they will be talking about that on the show tonight. And also take a look at NWFL Premiership Super Six. Yes, it's going on in Bayelsa State, Yenogwa. That's exactly where it's going on. We'll take a look at that, what the teams that are on the brink of making it to the next one. And not just that, I'm talking about the teams that are on the brink of clinching the title, where there are some teams that are yet to get a win. Nasarawa Amazons and, of course, Heartland. They had a fantastic season, but Super Six is proving to be very difficult. Samuel Ahmed will be joining us to talk more about the Super Six Premiership taking place in Yenogwa, Bayelsa State. And also, yes, we'll talk about the Europa League final. It will be tomorrow in Dublin, Ireland. And of course, you know what we are talking about because Bayer Leverkusen, well, they're thinking of how, the real invincible, yes, 51 game unbeaten, and then they're thinking of how they can continue that on Wednesday. And our focus will be obviously on the Nigerians that are on that team. You know them. Atalanta, of course, Ademola Lookman. And of course, for Bayern, you have two Nigerians also there, Victor Boniface being one of the players in Bayer Leverkusen. And also, yes, we'll touch down on other topics concerning, yes, the Federation Cup, the President Federation Cup, round of 32 for the men takes center stage Wednesdays and Thursdays this week. We'll talk about that also on the show. And update coming from Tiani Babangida, who lost the son and the younger brother, Ibrahim. I mean, remember Ibrahim was a member of the 1993 Golden Eaglets. I mean, they won the trophy at that time. Updates are coming from there, with more support pouring in for him. Austin, so much more on the show tonight.
So much to talk about, Cecilia. I'm pumped up as regards the NWFL Super Six. When Samuel Amadou joins us, we'll have a robust conversation of what's going on in Yenagua. And right here in England, Cecilia, it's not just about Pochettino. We're also talking about Gareth Southgate's, provisional list for the Euros.
Yes.
Prominent names missing from his list. Oh, I've been wondering. People are like, oh, Austin, what are you talking about? Marcus Rashford isn't on that list. There's not Jordan Henderson, which Gareth Southgate said was a very difficult decision to drop Henderson. I would pick Henderson because of his experience. There's no Ryan Sterling, and there's no Jadon Sancho. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's not only natural. I'm not surprised at all. I love the fact that he's being realistic in picking the squad. That's what good coaches do. When you're good and you know you have plethora of players in that position, of course, those who are not serious should be left out. Reality check for all of them, for the likes of Rashford, Ryan Sterling, and of course, Sancho. Those guys need to step up to be able to make it back into the England squad. Yes, Euro is around the corner. Is in June, 33-man squad that he picked. Well, we're not alone on the show tonight. We have Dr. Ogunbiade joining us tonight. Good evening. It's great to have you.
Yeah, good evening. Wonderful lineup of stories. Talking about the English national team squad and not forgetting the game we'll be seeing tomorrow. Bayer Leverkusen up against Atalanta. The two previous games between the two of them actually ended in favor of Atalanta. Maybe we are going to see the same thing happen tomorrow. Let's wait and see.
Yeah, but one thing is sure, high-scoring game. That's what I'm anticipating, and that's what I'm waiting for. All right, Austin, let's start off with this one concerning more supports coming the way of Tiani Babangida. Just last week, on Sunday precisely, I think NFF, went to visit NFF executive members, went to visit him, including Austin Eguavoin, but this time around is the former deputy governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, also, showing support for Tiani Babangida. Remember, Tiani is actually the president of Nigeria Players Union. Of course, he's also a member of that committee that set up for member of that committee of the Nigeria Football Federation Players Union to improve the welfare of players. So himself and Shaibu have been working together to improve the welfare of players, and for him to be able to show that solidarity, just another display of support, pay him a condolence visit, at his residence in Abuja.
No, where is the Iran embassy? Where are you?
Security of players, both active and outside the game, is very key, and that is where the players' union comes in. Legends like Tiani Babangida and ex-internationals actually need to be catered for, not just by life insurance also, but the countries need to have a policy in place for those that have actually give all to the service of this country. And if there is anything that unites Nigeria during war and even during economic crisis, it's sport. So we must give premium to sport, and we must bring premium to those that are actively involved in sport, because that is a unifying factor for all of us, whether economic challenges or in terms of sport is the only thing that unites us. You can see the formation of National Sports Festival is as a result of bringing the country together after the war. You see, so sport is key, and players should be given priority. We should be given first line. Just like I always advocate that the military should be given first line, players also should be given first line because of their role in the unity of our country.
Yeah, Austin, you just listened to what Honorable Philip Shaibu had to say concerning welfare of players, having policy in place. I think Austin will join us shortly on this one. Dotun, let me come to you on this one. I mean, you listened to him. I mean, when they had that visit to him, what he had to say concerning policy to actually protect players, just like, also having the same for our military men because of their contribution to the country, especially peacekeeping, so to speak. I mean, literally, because whenever there's football, the country is united.
Yes. I do agree with him to a certain extent. And if you take a vivid look at it very well, actually putting a scheme in place that will support the players during their playing time and after their playing career is really actually going to go a long way to help players actually have the sense of belonging. And if you still now look at it on the other side and you still say it that players who are actually earning that very much during their playing career supposed to prepare for life after football. In England, they actually have a scheme like professional football pension scheme, whereby they actually took part of their money, the salary they earned, to actually invest for them so that they can have a life after football. Yeah. I think all of these, if you actually take a cursory look at it, it is good, but it all depends on the player themselves. Far from what the government can do. Okay. Yes, I'm actually saying I'm in support of what Honorable Shaibu said, because we need to actually plan for them so they can have sense of belonging, that, okay, I belong to this country. Like he said the other time, talking about what they do. When there is war in a nation, when there is football brings peace. When there is economic crisis, when all of these are in place, football actually will unite the people, will make us speak the same language. Remember what happened during the early part of this year? Nations Cup, actually, Nigerians were actually speaking the same language. Nigeria must win, the Super Eagles must win. So all of that, actually, if you put into consideration, we need to give them total support. We need to actually give to them what they can't give to themselves, why they actually give us what we cannot give to ourselves, talking about putting smiles on the faces of Nigerians. So putting actually all of this structure in place will make them have a sense of belonging, actually keep them in shape for life after football. But like I said the other time, that they also need to plan for life after football.
Austin, I mean, I believe you listened to what Philip Shaibu had to say concerning having a policy, for players' security. Especially, I mean, the way the accidents happen just on the road, and it's hard to actually comprehend, but it has happened. But having that policy, to have security for these players, I think that's something they should look into, talking about the House of Assembly, like they're also looking into the WADA, as in having to look into the anti-doping law that can actually help Nigeria to actually have our own code that will protect players.
Comrade Philip Shaibu and everyone that has, stood behind Tiani Babangida right after that tragic incident that claimed the life of Ibrahim and his son. He's gotten so much love. Special shout out to Ajax Football Club also, and the solidarity that he has received from everyone all over the world. And what the former deputy governor said was so apt. There must be a policy in place. There's life after football. These guys cannot serve us, bring so much glory to the country, make people happy, inspire lives, become role models, and there's no form of life assurance or anything they can, just hold on to right after football. Yes, somebody will say with all the monies that they make, they should be able to, save into their future. But no, as a country, there must be a package in place for, this sort of things, because I've been this to happen. So yeah, I totally agree. We've been talking about this, the players' union. They've all also been championing this. We'll just hope that someday the Minister of Sports Development will have a proper conversation with the NFF and every other stakeholders that are involved in ensuring life after football is properly ensured. Just so the labors of our heroes past will not be in vain, Cecilia.
A prayer. All right, we'll leave this one and quickly go to NWFL, of course, the Premiership taking center stage in Yanogwa. Today is a free day, and of course, games return tomorrow. Samuel will be joining us on this one. But before Samuel joins us, let's just quickly run through the results of match day 1, match day 2, and take a look at the table. And of course, Samuel will be here to dissect it. So I'll take a look at starting with the match day 1 result, where Edo Queens were on fire against Confluence Queens, winning by 5-1. Nassau Amazons and Heartland, it ended goalless for them. They're still winless, winning the second game. Rivers Angels and Baeso Queens, they shared the scores there. It was 1-1. And match day 2 result, we'll go to that match day 2. Baeso Queens are beating Nassau Amazons 1-0. And of course, Coach Danjuma will need to do a lot for the team to see where they will be on the final day. Edo Queens and Rivers Angels securing their first win. Edo Queens losing their first win. And Heartland Queens also losing to Confluence Queens. Now look at the table, how it is looking like. If anything, on Wednesday, so this thing, or look at the fixtures for tomorrow. Okay, we'll look at the table then before we look at the fixtures. Now, here you have the table. Rivers Angels are topping based on goal difference, because you have a Baeso Queens also +1, same thing. You have Edo Queens second, about 3 points, winning just 1 game. Confluence Queens after 2 games, also on 3 points, winning 1, losing 1. Nassau Amazon and Heartland Queens have 1 point each, based on the goalless game they had on the opening day, while they suffered defeat in their second game. Now, what the fixture is looking like on match day 3, the one that will decide where these teams will finish. Now, Nassau Amazons are up against Rivers Angels, and Confluence Queens up against Baeso Queens, and Heartland, of course, against Edo Queens. Heartland, maybe they are winless run, might just continue, because Edo Queens are right now wounded. Sam, it's good to have you join us on the program tonight. Good evening.
Yeah, it's great to be on the show. It's also a wonderful pleasure being on Sports Tonight, and exciting how you guys are looking.
Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking pretty. Yeah. All right. Now, it's match day 3 tomorrow. I mean, we have some of these teams that started very well, like Edo Queens. I mean, the first game 5-1, but the second game losing to Rivers Angels. They will say it was a narrow loss, a 2-1. I mean, you've lost 3 points already. Now, how are we looking forward to the final game in Yanogwa, the final round of matches?
Well, for me, I think it's been an enterprising start for all the teams. I think we have an incredible regular season, and now we're seeing how the teams have also turned on the initiative. It's been impressive so far. Every team looking hungry to take up the challenge to contest for the. It is an impressive campaign we've seen. 2 games, all the 6 teams already with a point. It doesn't look easy to tell where the pendulum will change in the end. With all the teams with the points already. So I think this is also a record performance to the history of sports. Just after 2 games, every team already has a point. So it's definitely going to bring this. It's a competitive game, and the teams have managed to carry on from how impressive the regular season was. With the contest for the Super Six now, it's actually go down to the wire. We saw how they couldn't get a win, but in the second matches, they managed to skip that against North Power, and also against Edo Queens respectively. So it's also a tall order for teams like Atlant, teams like Nassau, who are yet to get a win in the competition, and surely puts them in a difficult situation. But again, I think going to match 3, these teams are very good that one them need to watch out for, see how well they will bounce back from such a disappointing loss in their second match play. Hopefully, you can see that they can really pick up a strong performance against their respective opponents the match play. So for me, I think it's looking out for teams like Bayelsa, Edo, Complex Schools, and also Rivers Angels. They are strong hosts and also gladiators in the competition, so they are very much experienced side. I know pretty much how and what it takes to compete for the title, especially knowing that this is a different ball game compared to have in the regular season.
Guys, that's cool. Austin, I think Austin got one question for you before we go on a break.
Yeah, I think it started so well. And Sam, if you take a look at it, no team has won 2 matches. Rivers Angels and Bayelsa Queens with 4 points. Is it going as competitive as we expected it to be?
Okay.
Hi, Sam, can you hear me? Hi, Sam.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I was saying that after 2 matches, no team. I understand that the audio in the background is too loud, so you can't really hear me. Cecilia, I'll just let you go on with the conversation while we try to fix it. The audio from the visual plane is too loud, so Sam can't hear me. Okay. Sam, can you hear me now?
Yeah, pretty well.
Awesome. Let's go on with it. In about 2 minutes, we'll go on a break. But I was just saying that after 2 matches, no team has recorded 2 wins. Bayelsa Queens and Rivers Angels with 4 points. Edo Queens with 3 points. And we can tell that it's as competitive as we expected it to be. What are you expecting on match day 3?
Yeah, for me, match day 3, I think match day 3 definitely will throw up a lot of mixed reactions. We definitely throw up another surprising results. I surely know that teams like Heartland, teams like Nasarawa Amazons, and also Edo Queens that lost on match day 3 definitely would be desperate to bounce back on match day 3 and knowing that they need to salvage their campaign. Most importantly, teams like Nasarawa and Heartland definitely coming in with so much prospects. Now they need to take the bull by the horn, and definitely you need to look out for those games involving Nasarawa and Heartland Queens. So I think it's surely going to be a very competitive games. We know that surely these 2 teams are very desperate to ensure that, yes, they get their campaign back on track, and getting a result like Conference Queens did in the impossible way is what surely we need to look out for. So I think it's definitely going to be a very tough game for teams like Rivers and Bayelsa, who surely will also go some step further in ensuring they guarantee their quest and put a strong foot forward in ensuring that they can compete Sam, and also challenge strongly for the league title. So I think that will be a difficult one to play.
Okay, Sam, before we let you go now, we've seen teams like Heartland and Nasarawa Amazons. They had a fantastic run in their own group. But now, the Super Six, where you have other bigger teams, the performance have not been good like what they did during the regular season. Do you think it's because of the weaker, because we're saying that the Team A and the Team B, the way the draws were, there you have the so-called big teams in one group and the smaller teams in another group. Is that playing a part in their performance in the Super Six? Okay, Sam, can you hear me?
Sam.
Okay.
Yes, Sam, you need to unmute here.
Yes, I feel you may have a very strong point there, but realistically, I think when a team is very competitive, it has nothing to do with the group. For me, if you look at the season, both teams were pitched in their various groups by a lot of draws, and I think this definitely could have happened and also favor any other teams. So, but regardless, I think how they out in the season definitely will speak volume about how strong and how competitive they could be. No doubt they turn out against teams that probably are not too familiar and too experienced competing in the Super Six. But now they need to test themselves against stronger teams, teams that are also been perennial champions in the league. So I think when you turn up against teams like Bayelsa Queens, teams like Rivers Angels, you've also had a couple of times to play friendlies or play Federation Cup matches with this team. So I think they may probably have not come up well strongly enough to have probably got their own strength. Look at the game against Bayelsa. They were almost going to nick a point out of that game until that late goal that came from Itimi Messi, courtesy of an assist from Messi Omoko. So I feel they probably didn't just get their acts right. They seem to probably have come to a competition a little bit laid back, understanding the fact that they were not part of the last edition. The same thing, you look at a team like Conference, yes, they were involved in the last one, but probably they were being plighted by a lot of factors, support, motivation, and what have you. So I think so many factors are always akin to why a team is performing excellently and they are not. So I think a lot of factors are playing a toll on these teams behind the scene. You could see a team like Rivers Angels, highly motivated, the sort of support they are also getting from the commissioner. Despite the draw they had against Bayelsa, they got their maximum bonuses, also a donation from the commissioner. So I think a lot of these factors are really, really keen. And when you want to get results at this level, definitely you need to know how best to motivate your girls to play. So what happened in the regular season is long forgotten. This is a different competition, and surely you need to come up strongly and also show you have that strong mentality to compete favorably against teams at this level.
Interesting. Austin, you got one more question for Sam
before I let you go, just one quick question. Conference Queens, that's my surprise package for this Super Six. After watching them, 2 matches gone, you think they can actually pull any surprise?
Yeah, for me, looking at how they started off, a lot of teams has probably shoved them to the sides, like felt probably they weren't good enough. They probably would be the donors of the group of the groups. And for me, after that first game, seeing how they suffered that humiliation in the hands of Edo Queens, looking at how Edo Queens were, I don't feel it was convincing. I just feel Edo Queens took advantage of how much they saw they were exploited when they played the Federation Cup against Delta Babes in Benin City. The Conference Queen managed to win 3-2, but it was a hard-fought win for Conference Queens, and they were playing without their best goalkeeper, who was out due to national duties with the under-17 team. So a lot of factors played a toll on that team. And when she came back, she brought a lot of confidence to the team. You saw the turnaround. Mentally wise, they were heavily boosted. And for me, I think the potentially will be the giant killer of this competition. And you can't forget so soon that Edo Queens were heavily embarrassed by Conference Queens in the last edition of the Super Six in Asaba, losing 1-0. And the same set of players who were instrumental in the win of Conference Queens against Edo Queens were also very much involved in ensuring Edo Queens got their own pound of the flesh and even heavier against Conference. So I think Conference Queens definitely would be a team, a surprise to watch, and for me, they definitely look to be probably a giant killer in this competition, seeing how well they bounce back with a massive and a clinical 2-0 win against Heartland Queens.
Samuel Amadou, must say thank you so much for your time on the show. Keep doing the good job you're doing for the development of women's football in Nigeria and Africa. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. It's always a great pleasure having talked to you. You guys are wonderful, and also thanks for what you do for women's football.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's Samuel Amadou speaking to us from Yenagua venue of the NWFL Super Six. Let's go to Lagos now. Dotun, after match day, Sue, are you pumped up about the NWFL Super Six?
Well, all we've seen so far in the tournament, I would say to a large extent that female football is actually getting to where we want it to be. We want to see wonderful football on the field of play. We want to see good artistry, good performance coming from the players, talking about the female on the field of play. But with the performance, with the result and what have you, talking about the Edo Queens actually taking the Conference Queen to the cleaners and beating them blue-black 5-1 in the first game. It was indeed a very wonderful one for them. The Delta Queens, the defending champion, they are not here to actually be part of this particular one. And My darling Sunshine, they never did too well. Actually got relegated, haven't been promoted just during the course of the season. That is not a good one for them. But all in all, talking about the Super Six, a wonderful one for Rivers United. You said the other time that we've not seen any team actually took the maximum 6 points so far. We've actually seen two teams that managed to get 4 points from possible 6, talking about Rivers United and Bayelsa Queens. Let's see how it's going to unfold during match day 3. Maybe we are going to see a surprise from Conference Queen. Maybe they are going to take their opponent to the cleaners, talking about Bayelsa United, and lay claim on this particular diadem. Let us wait and see how it unfolds.
Yes, Cecilia.
Yeah, wait and see how it unfolds. Hopefully, Bayelsa Queens and Conference Queens. I think I really want to see what that will be. Well, time to talk about the Federation Cup for the men. A round of 32, where some giants may just be living because of the way they've been paired together. You have so many teams in the top flight are playing against each other. We'll just run through the games for Wednesday and also Thursday. You have Benin Insurance and Wiki Tourists. They're going to headline that in Abuja. That's where they will be playing their game. Remember, Benin Insurance are defending champions of the Federation Cup, now President Federation Cup. That's the round of 32 fixtures. So just go around. EFCC and Edel will be in Lorry for that clash. ABS and KB United will also be in action. That will also be in Abuja. Aqua United and Zamfara Feeders will also be playing in Abuja. Gombe United and Economy Warriors will lock horns in Kaduna. Other games for this round of 32. You have Lobby Stars and Shooting Stars in Oka and Anambra State. Now, this is the one everybody will be looking at because of Shooting Stars' performance so far this year. And, of course, Lobby Stars is at the top 4 in the Premier League. Ikorodu City and Coal City will lock on to Benin City. Hamola, surprise package against Inter Lagos in Ibadan. Warrior Wolves and Aqua United will battle in Enugu, and Abia Warriors and Shooting Stars.
Super.
Sporting Stars will be in Benin City. Now, these are the games for that. Well, Niger Tornadoes and Rivers United will lock arms against each other in Auchi. And, of course, Katsina and Bayelsa United in Abuja. You have Nasarawa and Sokoto United in Kano. And One Rocket, that's a team that knows how to score goals, will be up against Eimba in Yenagoa. And Plateau United and Sunshine Stars are in Abuja. So this game, and of course, the one I mentioned earlier, Lobby Stars and Shooting Stars, these are the games we'll all be looking forward to because of, well, it's a battle for this Premier League side. Yes, President Federation Cup is what they are thinking of, how they can get, a victory out of that, simply because of, when you're not getting your hands on, you can't even win the league anymore. You have to, seek solace in the President Federation Cup. Benin Insurance did it last season.
Yes.
So maybe this season, Rivers United will be another team because from the way they are, I think they're out of the title race already.
Of course, they're out of the title race, and actually take a look at the FA Cup. We often say it like this, that it's an upset tournament whereby we see the giants that are talking about the smaller opposition coming to take the bigger opposition to the cleaners. We've seen that over and over in the past years. Though this year, we are still expecting it's still going to be like that, owing to the fact that some among the teams that are doing wonderfully well in the league, we actually maybe sometimes come with like cadastica attitude to the field of play. Then the other ones that are not really doing wonderfully well in the field of play will come with their A games, trying to prove a point, try to lay a claim on this title, owing to the fact that they can't lay their hand on the diadem, talking about the major tournaments in the league, talking about the Nigerian Premier Football League. So if you just take a look at it, it is really going to be an upset tournament. Okay. We do expect that season in, season out. Then talking about the games we are going to be talking that we are going to see, Lobby Stars against Shooting Stars. If you look at the performance of these two teams so far in the Nigerian Premier League, you definitely agree with me that they are actually doing wonderfully well, week in, week out, among the top 4 teams in the Nigerian Premier League. And if you actually consider what they've been able to do so far this season, to actually say that Lobby Stars will take them to the cleaners, or Shooting Stars will take them to the cleaners, will be very difficult. They are playing on a neutral ground. They are not playing at home. They are not going to get the home support. They are not going to get the sharing from their fans. But though some among their fans, we have to travel with them,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be like they are playing at home.
Yeah.
So actually, the team, I can't actually play the
Okay.
bet on either
On
of
any
the
of
team.
them, all right.
But if you look at the performance
Yeah.
of these two teams so far
Yeah.
this season,
They've
they've
been
been
good.
up and doing.
Okay, one will have to go home after round of 32. That's what we were saying. The big teams will start leaving the Federation Cup. Austin, Doma United and Kano Pillars is also another game. I mean, that's something to look forward to.
And Doma United in the MPFL have shown that they can actually play the big boys. I think they also stunned Kano Pillars right there at the Pantami Stadium. So they'll be looking forward to that one. Another interesting fixture, Cecilia, is Rivers United versus Niger Tornadoes. They only just played the outstanding MPFL game 2 days ago, and they will be meeting again in the President's Federation's Cup. And Niger Tornadoes will be wondering what sort of draw is this, because they lost 3-2 to Rivers United 2 days ago, and that's their 7th straight defeat in the league. So they'll be wondering what are they going to do. But hey, this is a cup competition where anything can happen. I have warned Aqua United. You cannot tell us stories against Zamfara Feeders. Nobody will hear that. Yes, I know they might be upset, but nobody will hear that. I also want to see what Warri will do against Kwara United. That will be an interesting fixture. Surprise, surprise. There's also Nasarawa United and Sokoto United. They know themselves so well from the NNL, and they'll be meeting again. That's a fantastic one. And MPFL team Katsina United taking on Bayelsa United. That's why we love cup competitions and the draw. It can just pitch you anywhere, you know.
And pitch you anywhere, and big names will definitely go down after this round of 32 matches have been played on Wednesday and Thursday across the country. You have so many games in Abuja. So if you're in Abuja, you can, see how you can see some of these games and just enjoy the best of the President's Federation Cup. All right, we're leaving that and going to Europe. Yes, tomorrow is the big one. The real invisible team, Bayer Leverkusen, thinking of how they will start their trouble. They already won one, winning their first Bundesliga in the history of the club. Of course, Xabi Alonso responsible for that. And the second one, it's coming tomorrow. There's another one coming up on Saturday against a second-tier club. That's the German Cup. So this team, yes, we'll just read the details for you. Yes, the final match details of UEFA Europa League. Usually you always see Sevilla, but hey, they're not here. So you've got Atalanta and Bayer Leverkusen Wednesday, May 22nd, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. And of course, the Viva Stadium in Dublin, that's where it's taking place. The referee is Van Kovacs, that's from Romania. That's the guy that will be in charge, the center referee for the game on Wednesday night. I mean, Austin, yes, we've been singing the praises of Xabi Alonso, what he has done for Bayer Leverkusen. They've never won the league title. He has done that for them. Right now, 51 games unbeaten across all competitions in Europe. No club has ever done that. And he's looking forward to even having a treble with that. That's why they are called the real invisible.
They are just two matches away from achieving an unprecedented full season unbeaten. Full season unbeaten. I don't know what we can do about this Bayer Leverkusen and their vibes, but they need to give the world their energy, because I said it on this show that they no longer know how to lose. 51 games unbeaten, and now with the way everyone is talking about them, the odds are already favoring them to beat Atalanta. Yes. Remember, just last week, 2 weeks ago, Atalanta lost the Coppa Italia to Juve by a single goal. Now, with that, everyone's like, morale is low. But no, if you take a look at how Atalanta, protected their run in the UEFA Europa League, then you cannot write them off yet. But we just can't stop talking about this magical Bayer Leverkusen side, because I don't know what we're going to say by the time they end up winning their remaining 2 matches and go the entire season unbeaten. Xabi Alonso needs to tell the world what he is doing with this team, what he has done that has built this momentum. But hey, they have a resilient Atalanta side tomorrow to prove some more points, Cecilia.
Proving some more points. And if you check Dotun, Atalanta have actually enjoyed, a remarkable victory. They took out Liverpool in the quarterfinals, and of course Marseille in the last 4, and then they're here. I mean, this is their first European competitions in in 61 years, they haven't won a single trophy. You know, usually AC Milan, Inter Milan, they're playing second fiddle because they are from the same region in Italy. But if you look at Atalanta, you look at the coach, Gianpiero Gasperini, is he someone that can actually end this run? When you reach your first ever European final, you've qualified for the Champions League, and then narrowly losing to Juve. And if you check the last 6 times, last 6 seasons, they've reached the Coppa Italia. I mean, 3 Coppa Italia in the last 3 seasons, right? And they've lost all of them. And now they're making their first ever European final.
Let me just start like this. Like Leverkusen, like Atalanta.
Okay.
The first time Leverkusen were in the final of European Football Club tournament against Real Madrid in 2002, they were beaten, though they actually gave a fight, but they were unable to get the better of Real Madrid. And fast forward to where we are now, talking about what they've been able to do this season. Like Austin said the other time, everyone around the world is talking about the team, how they actually took all the teams they played against to the cleaners, tearing them apart, winning game by game. They don't actually have the mentality of losing game anymore. I haven't played over 50 games and won most of it, and actually drew few. If you just take a look at this, you just say, let's go to the field of play and deliver the title to them, the trophy rather. Give it to them and let them go home with it, because they've actually done wonderfully well. Football is not 1, 2, 3, whereby you understand that the next number after 3 is 4. But if you actually look at it, what Atalanta have been able to do, though you are talking about what they did in the past years, getting to 3 finals in the Coppa Italia and losing all, if you put that into consideration, sometimes you actually not look at the better side of the team, what they've been able to do, going to Anfield to get the better of almighty Liverpool by 3-1. It was not a mere feat. It was not a mere feat. I don't think Bayer Leverkusen would have gone to Anfield and got the better of Liverpool.
We didn't expect that result.
So if you just look at the run of both teams to the final, you would say that they did wonderfully well. I think the team who won the trophy most tomorrow will actually win the trophy. That is what I think.
Who wants it most?
Yeah, who wants it most? That is what because if you look at the run of both sides, you see that it was indeed a very good run for the two of them going to the final. But for me, if you will ask me, I would like to see Bayer Leverkusen win this.
Okay, we want history, right? But let's listen to Ademola Lookman ahead of the game tomorrow night.
Yeah, no, we need to be at our top of our game. We know that coming into this tie against a top team who play top football. So, like we've shown this season, we play our football to the best of our abilities, and we do the necessary. This season we've been very, very strong in the league, Coppa Italia, Europa League now, 2 finals. It's been una grande stagione. And tomorrow, like I said, the job's not finished, so tomorrow we need to finish the job tomorrow and get the win for the club, for our fans, and and we're looking forward to it.
All the best, Ademola Lookman. Who will I support? I don't know. We have 2 of them. Now let's quickly go to the England squad. The much talk about it, but first we have to listen to Gareth Southgate telling us the reason why some players were out. But the statistics, it had to be realistic in picking those players that will represent England in Euros in Germany in June.
Well, everybody has a chance. There are definitely some players that we wanted to see. The reason for the longer squad, we were in a similar situation before the last Euros, and more time is going to help us make better decisions and might help us to give a better balanced squad. So there are some injury issues that are very obvious and apparent, and there are some that are a little bit more nuanced and that we don't have all the information on, and sometimes you need to work with the players and see how they react physically to training. So this has been as complicated a group as I can remember picking, and we've had quite a few complicated ones. But as I say, I think we can make better decisions by giving ourselves more time, and we've got time. So there are moments where actually time doesn't help you to make a better decision, but in this instance it will. You'd like to have experienced players, and it's still possible that we can play in a way that we have that. But we need to see some of these younger guys as well. They've had good seasons. We can learn more about them, and they are, we feel, the best players at this moment in time to be able to come and fulfil the roles that we're talking about.
Yeah, it was a difficult decision to meet some players. He won the experience for Jordan Henderson, who was 81 caps for England. It's not there. Rashford last season had 30 goals in 56 games, but this season only 8 goals in 42 matches, and he hardly played a role in the international friendlies against Belgium and Brazil. That tells you a whole lot. Austin, you say you were surprised about the omission, but I'm not. Listening to Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, you know, it's every manager will come out and defend his decision, particularly when you pick players. But then he's got a bigger headache. He needs to drop 7, you know? And now he will start thinking after he sees them. I love the fact that he has gone with some young players. He has gone with some names that I've not been hearing. But in the local media here, they're asking a lot of questions, because if you take a look at the midfield, you can tell that it is still slim and it lacks experience. I love Mainu and what he has done for Manchester United, but you need the old guard in there. And Jordan Henderson has shown whenever he wears the England jersey, he will turn up, just like Harry Maguire. There are some sessions also that say that, if you can call Harry Maguire, then you can also call Marcus Rashford. Some players are just national team players, but I understand his headache with picking Rashford, because if you take a look at that forward line, it's packed and loaded.
Yes.
That's which Sancho doesn't even have a place. But if you take a look at the midfield, now it's for us to take Trent Alexander-Arnold to the midfield. There's Conor Gallagher of Chelsea, which is not a bad choice. There's Curtis Jones of Liverpool, which I like a lot. I mentioned Maino. There's Declan Rice of Arsenal and Adam Watson of Crystal Palace, who had a fantastic season with Crystal Palace. But he's just 20. Mainu is just 19.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that difficult game like the final they had against Italy, then you start looking for those experienced midfielders, and you find out that you didn't put them in the squad.
Yeah, just a quick one before we need to wrap up. Just a quick one on this England squad. You're surprised by some of the omission or some players that could have been there?
Though I would say it like this, that often we say, in football world, we don't have a perfect list, owing to the fact that I would desire certain players to be part of the squad, and the coach actually have different opinion because he knows all these guys. Someone like I would like to see Fikayo and Tomori being part of this team. I would like to see someone like Sancho be part of the team, be part of this team. But the coach actually have a contrary opinion to my personal opinion. So we don't have a perfect list.
There's never a perfect list. Yes, that's submission. No perfect list. Austin, we got to go. Mauricio Pochettino has left Chelsea, amicably, no quarrels, nothing. He felt he needed to leave, and he has left the club. Just one season.
I know, just one season. Pochettino came out of that crisis talk meeting with the board. I'm sure he went in there and probably asked for some money to buy players, and they said, no, that's not happening. I said, okay, thank you so much. I can't take Nicolas Jackson to compete in Europe. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.
That was nice doing this with you.
Always interesting to sit side by side with you and talk sports.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a good night's rest.